Everybody, welcome back. Live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive, another edition. Very excited about our guest today, Adam Ezra. Take it away, my man.
Tiny world in your hand, you're moving tangles I can almost understand. Well, there goes all my little plans. Lay your head on me. The oldest dance, let's begin. You'll need patience, teaching me to spin. Well, there goes everything I've been. Lay your head on me. Yeah. Well, I'll be damned, bless my soul. Don't we dance like a tumbling rain? May the sunshine erase our steps so the young can dance again. Find your rhythm, live your truth. In my eyes, there's nothing you can't do. Well, there goes everything I knew. Lay your head on me. Well, my heart is a gambler and time is a thief. My biggest love, yeah, someday you will leave. But there goes all that I believe. Lay your head on me. Well, I'll be damned, bless my soul. Don't we dance like a tumbling rain? May the sunshine erase our steps so the young can dance again. And may we all live on through them. Pick your song, choose the speed. I'll lift you up, let you lead. There goes everything I need. Lay your head on me. Lay your head on me. Lay your head on me.
Woo! Adam Ezra, how are you, man?
I'm good, man.
Sounded beautiful. Hello.
Well, I got another ding in this thing. As you can see, it doesn't matter much at this point.
A lot of use out of that thing.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really nice to be here.
Thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it. So we should just, with full disclosure on this, by the time you guys might see some different lighting in here than what we usually do, Adam has been nice enough to join us in the late hours of the night as we're taping this show because he has a crazy schedule. Musician schedule. How's that life going? It's crazy, man.
It's good, man. Further complicated by a 9-month-old daughter at home, which who inspired that last song, and so yes, we are here very late. I was awake very early with Willa, my daughter, and I'm driving. I'm in the middle of driving from Maine down to Boston, where I wake up tomorrow for an early morning studio session, pick up the boys, head to a showdown in Woonsocket.
Oh my!
Yeah. So it's there's not a lot of sleep in my life these days, but there is a ton of love and inspiration, so I have no complaints.
Beautiful. Well, and literally, folks, I mean, he's not kidding. He's driving through, and he's nice enough to take some time to stop for us. So
what was hard, when you invited me, I was so excited to hang out.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, I'm either in Boston, which is an hour south, or I'm in Maine, which is 2 hours north, or something like that. And and between everything I'm bouncing around on, you were very gracious. Let's just say you were very gracious to let me show up in the middle of the night.
Well, right back at you. And really, Sarah Blackstone here too, the producer, has gone out of her way to I don't know what time she gets in, but I know she's like always here working hard.
Well,
so
I
we
can
appreciate
tell she
you.
really loves when you call her out on the podcast.
She deserves it. No. So but anyway, so man, you're playing a lot. I know I've had a chance to see you twice recently this year. Excellent shows. I saw you in Lowell for the Town of the City Festival.
God, that was a fun night.
Yeah,
huh?
that's a weird one.
It was a totally weird but awesome venue. Like I mean, and this is one of the things I love about being an indie artist. No matter every single night is a different adventure, and you just never know what it's gonna be. And that place, it was called Zorba's. Is that?
I don't even remember.
Something with the
Sounds
Z.
right. Yeah.
And it was in Lowell. We were playing in this festival.
Yeah.
And man, I have to just tell you, I love the city of Lowell, Massachusetts, and I'm rooting for the city of Lowell, Massachusetts, and was honored to be invited to be a part of their festival. And man, we showed up and we were playing in the quirkiest, coolest little room.
You guys are familiar with quirky. You guys have been around a while. You know some quirky rooms, right?
There are quirky rooms all over the Northeast, and at this point I've played most of them. But actually, the two shows that you saw were two shows that I had never been in before. The other one was not far from here.
Yeah, Beverly.
Yeah, right in Beverly. And North Shore, is it that North Shore
Music Theater?
Music Theater.
Yep.
I knew there was a word before theater. But that was a really unique space.
Yeah.
Two, a stage that is in the round.
Yeah.
And man, I did not know about the history of that place.
Yeah.
When we showed up there, but what an incredible history of supporting the arts. And man, we had a bunch of fans that were there that were saying, Adam, I can't believe you're playing in this place. I've seen so many incredible plays and musicals here. The stage actually revolves around, and all the seats are around this round stage. It is.
You kept walking out. You wanted to be closer to your fans. You're not used to
that. No. I always find I like to. Right. I like to figure out how to get as close as possible to people as I can. But I've only been in a couple stages that are around like that. One is the Cape Cod Melody Tent.
That's right. Yeah, I have. Yeah, we haven't, not in a while, but yeah, it's another great spot. So your fan base, by the way, I mean, they are diehard. Like, it's the first thing that jumps out at you if you go to a show. Like, you know it right away, right? There's like little intricacies of songs, and you're like, oh, all right, where'd that? Okay, everybody knows that. All right,
it is inspiring the way that
it's crazy.
The community has evolved. I know they'll be like right in the middle of one song. Yeah. They'll be like one syncopated clap, and it doesn't repeat, and like people are dialed into it. Yeah. They have come up with a lot of that on their own, and it is and it's the music and the performance is all about connection. And one of the things that I love about the community that has evolved around the music is they are taking that connection and they are running with it. They're taking ownership in it, and they are evolving it to new places, which is so inspiring to me.
It has to be like the biggest compliment to an artist when like you realize you've made that connection. Like it's like, I mean, I can't imagine anything more complimentary. I'm like, wow, these people are doing this on their own, following me around. I mean, it's crazy.
It is awesome. So here's the thing, and and I'm sure you weren't planning to talk about this, and I don't know how structured.
I don't have very many notes.
Okay, great. Yeah. But one of the things that I'm actively thinking about a lot, and trying to communicate with our community about is how do we take all that great diehard energy, right? Mm-hmm. But make it non-insular. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm totally fascinated to get your read, right? When you came and saw us for the first time, second time, did that make you feel like an outsider? Or did it make you feel embraced? Because right? Like that's the danger when a community is so dialed in, right? To show up and be like,
no, it's only a good thing.
Yeah.
It's only a good thing. I remember going to see. I'll run off on my own little tangent. I remember going to see Springsteen's I'm a big Springsteen guy.
oh, you and me both.
There
brother.
we go. So I took my. I remember taking my uncle to one of his. Maybe I don't know. I can't remember if he had seen Bruce before, but it's just one of those shows. I'm singing along. Everybody's singing along. He goes, "My God, I think I was the only one there who didn't know every lyric to every song."
Right.
And I was like, well, that always like stuck with me for 15 years. I was like, yeah, it probably did feel that way. But I think it's only a good thing. I see that and I'm like, man, that's somebody connecting with his audience. That's somebody like,
I love
it's
that.
genuine. It's the genuine thing, I think. It's the thing you can't fake.
What I want to do, the next level, right, is I want to figure out a way that a first timer can connect with, and maybe it's happening already, because I know that there are within our fan community, right? Everybody is so excited when new people are coming in, and there's this openness and acceptance. But I do want people to feel like they are embraced and not like experiencing like, oh, you go to an Adam Ezra group, it's pretty intense. The fans are pretty intense, but it's, it's fun and it's fun. But, it would be...
You don't know the words to the new single, do you?
I want somebody that's never heard a song, that doesn't know any words, to feel just as much like they belong right there and to get swept up in it over the course of the night. That's the goal and that's the mission. And
so this is actually something you think about.
Every day.
Every day.
That's it. I mean, this was something I've also been thinking about is, maybe the art form is not even the music.
Yeah.
Maybe what we were experiencing together as humans connecting, maybe that's the art form, right? And maybe where this community of listeners and followers evolves, maybe that's the art form. Maybe that's my life's work. I don't know. But these are things that I think about.
This is part of the journey here, right?
This is part of the journey, and it's part of the magic of... It's part of why I love to do what I do. Because there's a lot of things about being a musician I don't love.
Let's talk all about those. No, just kidding.
We can. It's the middle of the night. I'm punchy. I'll talk about anything you want. Bro.
Yeah, we can probably get some real stuff out of you tonight. Adam Ezra joining us. The Adam Ezra group. Now, your band, man, just smoking.
Smoking.
I mean, really, I don't know.
Smoking.
Right off the page. I mean, you know it right away when you go. This is a tight band.
Yeah.
They can turn on a dime. It's fun to watch.
I play with 3 musicians who make me a better musician every time I step on the stage. They challenge me, and they push me, and they make me laugh, and they wow me every single night. And we are not no one would, I think, mistake us as a jam band, but the way the music and arrangements are structured, there is enough room for everybody to play a little bit differently every single night, and we push ourselves in that regard. And it is so fun to get up on a stage. First of all, we never have a set list, so we don't know what we're gonna play.
Is that true? You write nothing out?
Never.
Really?
No, and we want every show to be different. And inspired by the moment that we're in.
Yep.
And sometimes I'll mess with the bandies too. I'll start a song with a completely different tempo than we're used to, or play it in a different key. And my guys are right there with me every single time. And that too, we want there to be magic in a moment that doesn't happen, that never happens twice. Yeah. And that's the mission there.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I think it's another part of why you can have a fan base that travels around to see you for, 10, 12, 15, 20. Like, should I keep going 25, 30 shows a year? I don't know.
People will see 50 shows in a year. They will. They absolutely will. And then there will be people that, see us once every 5 years, like anyone that follows music. And, and every show these days, new people are somehow finding out about us, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
and that's super inspiring too.
I mean, you've been doing it for a while now. I mean, it's probably time flies as you
20 years.
20. It's unbelievable.
20 years.
And when you think about those Boston days, and when did you start to realize like, wow, I'm getting some traction here? Was there like one moment or several moments? I mean,
honestly, man, that's a tough question because it's all relative.
Yeah.
There are days, even now, when I'll wake up and I'll say to myself, wow, maybe we're starting to get some traction. and there'll be days when I'll wake up and I'll say, oh man, am I just beating myself up? Am I just throwing this against the wall?
Come on, you still have those doubts?
Every single day. Every single day I have those doubts. And every single day I have those moments of being excited about what we're doing. And I felt that way when we were operating on a smaller scale in the very beginning, and I feel that way today. It does still feel like, in many ways, like we're throwing punches and fighting for our lives every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably what drives you in some way, right?
There's positives and negatives to that.
Yeah.
There's positives and negatives. We're on the raggedy edge, and that comes out in what we're doing. I mean, we talk about attempting to be as raw and as real as we can be when we're performing, and some of that means exposing yourself, making yourself vulnerable, and being honest about all your doubts.
It's a lot of pressure on a band leader too. I mean, it's not easy being a band leader, is it? I mean, I know you love your bandies, as you call them, and they're great and they got your back and all that, but I know it's not easy.
No, it's a it's a hard thing to be a band leader, but it's also a hard thing to be in a band.
Yeah.
And
bands themselves, they're tough to keep together.
It's hard to be a band leader. It's hard not to be the band leader sometimes, right? Like it's hard, it's hard to spend 10 hours in a bus, in a van, and show up to a place and have to be on point, and it's hard to operate without sleep, and it's hard to not be sure where the next tour is going to take you, and it's hard to be dependent on whether or not ticket sales continue to increase over time, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you can get caught up in all of those things, and which is a shame, because really the thing that everybody's there for is deep and full, passionate immersion in the art. And there are so many other logistics and challenges that encircle the art that you have to focus on if you're going to survive. It's hard to sift through that sometimes and just be true and present in the moment with the art itself.
I imagine a pandemic doesn't help that.
Pandemics make it interesting. It changes. When the world changes, you have to change, and that is scary too. But artists, in some ways, I think, should always be attempting to push themselves and change.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the pandemic there's not a human being alive that hasn't suffered through these last 2.5 years,
right.
And there's no shortage of that in the music world for sure. But in all that, and I'll just speak from my personal perspective, in all that I lost, and all that I missed, there was also this cathartic sense of learning to appreciate all the things that I had.
Yeah.
And a gratefulness. I don't think any one of us, we as human beings who have survived this pandemic, right? I mean, there are epic moments in history that have shaped the world. We just survived one of them. Yeah. We are surviving one of them. It ain't over, right? And there is something that all of us alive today, I think, will forever share because of that. There is something that will connect us all, in a sense, deeper than we would have been connected if the pandemic had not happened. And man, if we can remind ourselves of those things in the dark hours.
Yeah.
If we can remind ourselves of those things when we feel isolated, when we feel diffracted from folks that have different beliefs than us, and coming from different places, if we can remember those things, we may just be able to pull out of this thing stronger than we were before.
I hope so. I think so many people take on that too. Like I will never take that for granted again. I'll never take just going out to see a live music show again.
Oh,
I can't imagine being a musician and not being able to go on stage. But I mean, I don't think I took it for granted. I've said that on the show before. It's what my wife and I do. We go out. We like to go find live music. Then see somebody playing and just to not have it. I sitting at home. I remember going watching people stream, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. But oh my goodness, I can't believe I can't go out and see somebody go out there and play.
It was that is a tricky, and there are lots of immunocompromised people out there.
Yeah.
There are lots of people that are afraid, rightly so, and are still not ready to come out to see live music again. People that love and breathe live music and entertainment. And
do you hear from fans who tell you, I love you, but I'm just not ready, or most of your bass back, or?
There are tons of people,
Yeah.
listeners out there that aren't ready to be out again, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's okay. We're all gonna find our way out of this thing in any way we can.
Yeah. Yep, no doubt. Again, Adam Ezra joining us. I have so many directions I could go with you, just because it's.
I'm ready. It's the middle of the night. You got me, man. Wherever you want to take me.
How was that? Did you hit any traffic, by the way? No traffic.
No traffic. No traffic this
None of
late
that?
in down the coast of Maine.
For sure. All right, Maine's a beautiful time.
Easy drive.
Easy drive. All right, that's good. So you're awake. The first thing that jumped out at me when you talk about connecting with the crowd and all that.
Yeah.
And there's intricacies that the crowd adds and all that. So much of it, though, you're a beautiful songwriter. I mean, you have great songs,
Thank you so much for saying that.
And some of the stuff, that genuine thing I talked about earlier was it's the stuff that you come across. Like I try to picture, who you're singing about, and a lot of times you can, a lot of times maybe you don't know. But you're one of those songwriters that can I can tell you're writing about experiences, and most of the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just talk about songwriting process a little bit. It's kind of a open-ended question, I know,
man, yeah, that's hard. I write lots of songs. I write a lot of songs, and I get bored easily, or so that's one way to say it. Another, people might say that I have some attention deficit challenges. Others say that I am inspired by diversity. But I like to me, a song, whether it's telling a story or it's a personal reflection or it's a conversation between two people that's taking place in the format of a song, it's describing. It should be, on some level, describing the experience of being human. That's what art is. It's the description of being human in some way, right? And everybody expresses being human a little bit differently. We're all different, but there are so many more things about us that are the same than different. That's the thing that continues to blow my mind about art. As unique as that art can be, if it's speaking to an experience of being human, it will resonate with other people. And so that's the mission for me as a writer.
Yeah. Is
to dig down through the layers and try and be as real and honest as I can in the songwriting. But stylistically, I try to draw from different places, and sometimes I like that. I like that over the course of a night, we may sound very different.
Yeah.
It also makes us a lot harder to define as a band. It makes me harder to define as a musician, and oftentimes having an easy definition to describe somebody is a good way for them to be popular.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder if, man, would this road that I'm on be easier if I was a little easier to define if I.
You think you piss off the record companies?
No, I think they just don't want to have anything to do with me.
He
I don't
confuses
think
us.
I am worth them being pissed off at. They say I don't know how to box this guy. Forget it. And that's okay. I mean, to a certain extent, I've made the conscious decision to walk a path that is nonlinear as an artist, and I'm happy with it so far. But I don't know. I mean, you've seen 2 shows now.
Yeah.
How do you describe? Can you name a genre? Can you describe the music?
I wouldn't try to do that. Not with you here, definitely. You know what I love though? So you indie writers are just. It's so respectful because. Do you know Will Daly's in the
Yes.
Boston? You know, I'm sure you guys have crossed paths, right?
Yes, a friend of mine.
I'm always you're very perfect. He was on the show and he said we were talking about being an indie writer. And he's like, people always come up to me and they're like, I can't believe you're not bigger. I can't believe you're not bigger. And Will's pretty big, as everybody knows him around here. But he goes, I just don't need that. I got you, is what I tell him. I got you, and I just always thought it stuck with me for some reason. I was like, all right, that's how.
Have you heard his new single, by the way? He just released a new single.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
So unique and cool.
He's a great
really
artist.
great.
He was another guy. He was nice enough to come in here, but I mean, I don't know, the path of the indie writer. That's what matters to them is their fans, their songs. It's kind of, I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff that they want, but when it comes down to it, that's what it's about. And I don't know, I've always liked that.
Oh, well, I like that you like that.
You like that.
I like that you want to talk to artists that are doing that because, man, I wish there were more people out there that sought that out.
Yeah.
That sought that out, and I love it when I find people that are inspired by that.
I got to see one of my, we were texting earlier and I told you I was kind of just hanging around, killing some time, seeing a buddy of mine playing guitars, and I'm in this kind of popular bar, but like kind of quiet. They had the TVs on, they had some sports game on. It always annoys me when somebody's playing guitar. And like, kind of just a lot of chatter and people not really paying attention. And this guy's awesome. He's a great player. I really enjoy him. What's your advice to the young artist out there who knows he's damn good and is just not feeling like he's getting that back at him?
That's so hard. Get ready for a long ride.
Yeah.
And know that it's going to be a long ride and it's going to be super painful and shitty. And there's no magic bullet. And you have to, if I'm talking to that artist who's sitting on that stool in the bar where no one's paying attention to him with sports game on in the back, I would say I have been that artist more times than I can count. And there's no guarantee that you will ever not be that artist. And so being that artist that night on that stage with nobody listening to you, with the sports in the background, that's got to be good enough for you. That's got to be good enough for you. That's got to fill the space. And if you think that you are creating art that is soul-filling, if it's filling your soul, if it's inspiring you, that's got to be good enough because it's too hard and it's too painful. And I wake up every single day and I question whether or not I'm on the right track, and that's just the nature of being an artist, I think.
Man. Well, so on that cheery, long, grinding note.
Come on, that's the good stuff. That means
That's the good stuff.
That's
I
the
got
good
you.
stuff. No, let me, in case you're watching this podcast or listening to it and you think that sounded dark, let me explain to you why it is not. That you know that any artist that is surviving as an artist, that is still at it, that is still fighting the fight years into it, they are creating art that is filling their soul. They are fighting this battle, and despite all of the challenges and the burdens, that art is soul filling. It is filling them up, and it is inspiring them. And when you listen to them, they are sharing that with you. They are sharing a piece of themselves with you, and that's what it's all about, man. You know what I'm jealous of? I'm jealous of the one person in that bar tonight that came down there to drink a Pabst and watch a game, but instead they noticed your guitarist friend.
There you go.
And they had a moment. Oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
This is really cool. And they're going to follow that friend of yours and listening to his music or her music. I don't know. But, and that's the magic. That's where you have to believe the magic lies as an independent artist. And so, anyways.
Well said, man.
All right.
You delivered that one.
Sorry,
well.
I'll get off my soapbox.
No. That's what we're here for. This
All
is
right.
good. You got another one for us here? You want to?
Sure.
What are you thinking?
I have no idea. I haven't thought about it.
You don't write a set list for the big shows.
No,
Never mind.
no. Let me see. Okay, well, let's see. That last song is one that I wrote for my daughter, and I'll play something that sounds different, I guess, right now. And we're talking about inspiration a lot. We're talking about being connected a lot. We're talking about art a lot.
Oh.
This one, this is called All Right Today.
All right.
And that first song that I played is called Lele. This is one of the songs that we released during the pandemic. And for me, for us, it's become, sometimes it needed to be a mantra for us to get by. And the title says it all right today. And that's what we're trying to be each day.
All right. Adam Ezra, live at Drew's house, Joppa, Afternoon Drive.
Yesterday will fall. We are together now in the midst of it all, and we will be all right today. We'll be all right today. You know I cannot let this moment pass without calling out to the moon and the stars about how lucky I believe we are. We'll be all right today. We'll be all right today. All our dreams and limitations, all our failures and celebrations, together we'll rise, together we'll rise and fall. All our doubt and our inspiration, all our darkness and elation, together we'll rise, together we'll rise together now. And we bleed, we mend, but we get back up and we bleed again. We rise, we fall, we stand together through it all, and we'll be all right today. We'll be all right today. We'll be all right today. Yeah. We'll be all right today.
All right, Adam Ezra. Sounding great, man. Do you like the room?
I do like the room. It's a lovely room. It's a lovely room.
We always think it sounds good here. Although
It
we've
does
never
sound good in
tried it at Fast Approaching Midnight, which is what
Right.
you were the
Good.
first.
Everything sounds better in the middle of the night.
We'll make
It's true.
we'll make a plaque for
That's
you.
a songwriter's secret.
A songwriter's secret. Very
Yeah.
good. Is there part of that just being able to? I mean, I know the band. You love your band. I know that, but that thing, just being able to take that thing when you need some alone time, or I don't know, family, just being able to play that thing by yourself,
Yes.
stripped down. Something you love about that?
Yes, and it's something I love. I'll play a bunch of solo shows throughout the year too. It's something I love. I consider myself a folk musician, and so that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
The guitar, the voice, one person expressing themselves through music. That's where it all comes from. I love playing with my band because to me, that is the metaphor of the community. What we can do together when we combine our spirits, our voices, whatever you want to say. So I love playing with the band, but I also love just the purity of expressing myself by myself, and I dig that too.
Absolutely. And when you do bring it to the band, there's something admirable about bandmates too, who just kind of give themselves to you, like your music. There's got to be like a certain power you feel like, all right, these guys trust me to run with this song, right?
It is an incredible, humbling thing. It is an incredible, humbling thing to have other human beings wanting to play these songs that have been pulled out of the brain somehow, right? But and then to not only have other musicians wanting to play those songs, but then to have people wanting to listen to those songs, and then to have people knowing the songs enough that they can sing along or participate in those songs. It is a pretty good job sometimes.
It still makes you smile. Do you even notice that?
Every day. It is an incredible thing.
It's fun. What's do you like the songwriting, the recording, or the playing live? I think I might know the answer, but how would you rate those three in order?
The recording last. That's hard for me. To me, recording is an art form. Every aspect of what you're talking about is an art form, right? And its own art form. Some people are really great at songwriting and really hate performing. Some people really love performing. They sing other people's songs, right? And that's fine. That's great. There's just some people are brilliant in the studio, just brilliant. Studio's a challenge for me. It is so overwhelmingly complicated and beautiful, and the minutia, like I am a man. If I was a painter, I'd be a Jackson Pollock. I would be taking paints and chucking it onto a canvas, and my canvases would be messy and disorganized, and in the chaos, right, there would be something that's expressed. In a studio, you can't afford to do that. And it takes partnerships with other people that are inspired by trying to capture the essence of a song and putting it into the studio. It's a completely different thing than playing a song live. And oftentimes a live arrangement doesn't even work in the studio. So anyways, studio is 3 on that. Very hard to prioritize the songwriting and the performance because they are two halves of the art for me, both of which complete the process. I guess if I had to answer, I would say the songwriting because the songs are how I get it out of myself. I get the thing out. I pull. It's how I come to understand myself, and it's how I try to figure out the emotions that I feel. And because oftentimes words don't do it for me, and oftentimes I don't understand. I get lost in myself, but when I can put this box with the strings in front of me, right, it makes it easier to somehow understand, and so I love that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take that answer then. I think I probably would have had it right, but that's
Fine line.
I hear you. Adam Ezra, it's so nice enough to join us again here. Final couple minutes with him. Influences probably could go on for a while, but who jumps right off the page for you?
Well, you and I don't know if it was before the interview or during the interview, but you mentioned Bruce Springsteen. He's a big, he is an impactful influence for me in his ability to really, I think, express the American experience through his songwriting, and to do it in a way that has really truly empowered his community around him. That is an amazing thing. An artist named Ani DeFranco was a huge impact for her honesty in songwriting and her ability to not have to be pretty in what she was creating. That art can express what you're trying to express without having to try to sound like something. It doesn't have to sound pretty. It doesn't have to sound like what it's supposed to sound like. It can just be this raw expression of yourself. She really helped teach me that. Greg Brown is a folk songwriter whose story, his earnest storytelling, has inspired me throughout my whole life. Recently, songwriter Anders Osborne is huge influence on me these days. He is a guy from Louisiana, and he has the ability to be super raw, real. I think in his conduit from feeling something to expressing it. Song is created, putting it together. I listen to a lot of his stuff these days. I will say this though, that I have a 24-year-old sound engineer that comes with me on the road, and I've been listening to a whole lot of Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift, and Lucy Dacus these days, and I think some of the pop songwriting that is happening these days is mind-blowingly beautiful and incredible. So I just think it's a really good time for songwriting, and it's a really good time for art.
You consume it all.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it all.
That's good stuff. Your daughter you mentioned, that's another inspiration already, right? Huh?
Unbelievable. 9 months old, and every single day she is doing doing new stuff, and it is I had no idea. I'm an older father. I'm 45 years old, so it took me a while to get to this place, but man, I was picking her up and like spinning her around the other day, and she was just giggling, right?
Yeah.
She was just giggling, and then she's laughing, and she's looking at me, and she's looking. This little blob is looking at me, and the look was so pure love, honest trust. It was, and it was like, oh my God, this is the best thing. This moment right here, it's never going to get better than that. It's never, ever going to get better than that. That is insanely amazing. I don't have words. As you can see, it's hard for me to lose my words.
It's life-changing.
It's beyond life-changing. It's beyond life-changing. It is life-affirming, and it is and it helps me understand what happiness is.
Do you get to play for the family? Did I like it?
I play for Willa every single morning, every single day, and I write songs with her, and it's the joy of my life.
And it's too cool. You did so many of those. We talked about the streaming. I saw you do it just from home. I think Willa maybe made an appearance the other night in one of your Facebook streaming. At least
she has never actually
not
made
on
it
camera.
onto camera.
Yeah.
But she has squawked a whole lot at various gatherings. She'll come in. It's right around. And for those of you who are watching this podcast, when COVID started, the day I canceled tour, I started live streaming. I ended up live streaming every day for 500 days. We called it the Gathering Series.
Just 500, that's all.
Right. Yeah. And we still gather twice a week in this community, and you are welcome to participate if you'd like. Every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and we'll also live stream one of our shows with the bandies each weekend when we're out on the road. It's when I'm home on Tuesday, she goes to bed at around 7:30, and the live stream goes from 7 to 8 o'clock. So every once in a while, Mama will sneak her in for a song or two before she goes.
Yeah, right. That is too cool. And I mean, we talked so much about that diehard fan base on that thing. I don't know if you get time to like go through and read.
I do not, but I recognize the scope of what happens on that chat.
I mean, I've checked it out just 'cause, I mean, sometimes you kind of it's a weird like addiction. It's like, you kind of,
it's amazing.
And it's like people are like, I needed this in my life right now. Like that's, thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm like, man, that's good. These people are, you'll realize why we talk so much about the fan base if you go see an Adam Ezra show, because it's just you do feel it. It's the first thing that jumps out at you is these people love him, and that diehard fan base. You can't say enough about that.
Well, if you're listening to Drew right now or watching Drew and you haven't checked it out, you're invited and you're welcome. I'd love to have you become a part of this community too.
Very sweet. Again, I know you're going to play us out with one, Adam. I just want to say again, thank you so much for doing this, man. This has been very sweet of you with your time. I know you are a very busy man. And
thanks for wanting to talk to me, man. That's great.
Absolutely. No, it was great. We enjoyed it. And again, Sarah Blackstone, a very big thank you for staying up late. I don't know what time you have to be back up here.
She just
in the morning.
Stares daggers at you every time you mention her name. You know that, right?
So here's one thing. Maybe you've already got this. Maybe you've already got this sense. I'm a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah. I
got you.
So I don't think I'm the easiest show to schedule around here.
Well, I certainly didn't help that. I'm sure.
I don't help it either. I'm not. But hey, that is what it is. She's unbelievably. It's all good there. She's telling me to shut up now. See, that's what that is.
That's code for shut up. Yeah.
But thank you so much, man. It was great to spend some time with you. I know we briefly got to do it in Beverly. Great. Yeah. There was a great show that night, and look forward to seeing you on the road.
All right, man.
Again,
love it.
Bring some new people along.
Anytime.
I brought family that last night in
You're
Beverly.
Welcome anytime.
3 cousins, man. We had a blast. It was a fun night. What do you want to play us out with? Get something good?
Yeah. You want me to play another one?
Yeah. Let's play. Usually. You can bring us home with something nice. Actually,
yes.
As we talk about this, it's again, you'll watch this whenever, but we are literally taping this show. It is 10 minutes to midnight.
Oh, nice. Man, I don't know what to do here. Okay, I know what I'll do. I know whenever you may be watching this podcast, it will probably not be 10 minutes to midnight. You will probably not be finishing up your day, but this is, and maybe it's because I'm used to, I'm now 9 months into bedtimes, and finding some quiet space before bedtime, and this feels like a nice bedtime song for tonight. Gold is for the sun, red takes all the fun, green I come undone, on forever. These are things I know, I learn them as I grow, I'll leave them when I go, on forever. dazzled by the sets, singed with my regrets, spinning out in perfect disarray. I do not have the gift to see in black and white, but I'm okay by you tonight. Morning's my surprise, day is my disguise. Night I realize, on forever. And sometimes I can't hide when they all collide. I try to keep my stride, on forever. Wait to breathe my fate, I try not to hesitate. I know that it is all just in my head. I cannot differentiate the wrong from right, but I'm okay by you tonight. Begin as you and me, middle's melody, the end's too sad to see, on forever. And I don't wanna let you down when I'm not around. I'm captured by the sound of forever. Taste it as it starts, tangled up in hearts. Know that it will never be the same. But when it's feeling good, I want to hold on tight. And I'm okay by you tonight. I'm okay by you tonight. I'm okay by you tonight.
Woo! Adam Ezra, thanks everybody. Next time, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.